Hello, and welcome to Simon's Universe of Music. Today we're going to talk about something pretty incredible. Today I'm going to talk about Quentin Tarantino's soundtrack. What I really love is the way that he has that specific tune from his record collection, puts it into that film at that specific time, and really makes something special. His work is just absolutely incredible. I love going to the cinema, and I love seeing a great movie, but there's one thing for sure that I do like, is a great soundtrack, and especially what it can lead on to, I think I love the most. So with having the album with different artists from different time periods, is he going to give me something new? Something new that I haven't heard before. Where did it all begin for me and Quentin Tarantino? I must have been about 15 when I was at my grandmother's in Norwich at the time, and I had this friend that lived next door. There was a lad like my age who was a little bit older than me, but he loved his movies. I went to my friend's house, and the film Reservoir Dogs we watched together. I think that was the first thing that started for me, was seeing Reservoir Dogs and the music in that, with the Harry Nilsson song at the end, and also the clip of Stuck in the Middle with You, where he's cutting his ear off, and obviously the dance and everything. And the song by George Baker, Little Green Bag, them songs are absolutely mega. So that would have been my first taste of it, and obviously what Quentin's about and the sort of music that he uses in his films. But I think what really got the ball rolling was Pulp Fiction. With being like 15, watching the film, having them tunes, seeing Uma Thurman and John Travolta, doing the magic on screen. I mean, my God. I think this album really sums up the whole thing with Quentin Tarantino. This will last forever. This is as big as any artist selling a record. This is movie magic. And for movie magic, for a soundtrack and a film to go hand in hand, I can honestly say this is probably my favourite movie of all time, with the best soundtrack of all time. It is absolutely mind-blowing. I had to do this today on Simon's Universe of Music. I had to talk about Quentin Tarantino soundtracks, and soundtracks I really enjoy. And soundtracks like this. Now, in the music world, I'm absolutely sure albums like this are top sellers. I can remember having some cash off my nan. I knew exactly what I wanted. I think this was about 16 quid, and I had a £20 note. Went round to see my mate Dave, and said, right, I want to go into Bromsgrove and I want to get this. Wow. This has got to be seriously up there, music-wise, to listen to. Because of the iconic songs that are on it. We all know the performance of Dick Dale and his Dale tones. I know Quentin says for his movies and for the opening tracks of his films, he wants something pretty amazing, pretty incredible, and for the surf band of the 1960s that Dixdale and his Dale tones are, whoa, what a start, what a noise. Absolutely incredible. If you've paid to go into the cinema to watch a movie like this, and the first thing that comes on is that song, you know it's going to be special. I mean, hey, Let's Stay Together, Al Green. Amazing. Son of a Preacher Man. Son of a Preacher Man by Dusty Springfield. Absolutely awesome. Amazing. Having songs like that in your movie. Wow. I think for any person out there who loves Tarantino will have that soundtrack and absolutely blast it, blast it, blast it. How many people do I think has got this soundtrack? Loads. it is mega. And it's something that is really pretty special. The song that I really love the most on this album, and what I actually love about this film, is the Chuck Berry song, You Never Can Tell, with Uma Thurman and John Travolta doing their dance. I mean, dancing means everything to us because of my grandmother used to be a dancer, and the thing that I love the most is listening to music that makes you want to dance. That, to me, with music, is the greatest thing in the world. So, if anybody wants a decent compilation soundtrack to listen to, that is right up there. If you're on a night out and you heard any of the songs, like off that album, Jungle Boogie, Dusty Springfield one, Girl You'll Be a Woman Soon, I'm a huge fan of that album. So it goes on to Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown soundtrack, I think it's really cool. I love the time period that it came out in. I can remember my friend who was a bit older than us, Anthony, having the film on VHS and lending it to us. I love track 13 on this. I really love track 14, Inside My Love. That is a beautiful, beautiful song. It's a great song in the film. So track 7 on this album was a song that Quentin absolutely loved and thought it was very special for this film. And that tune is Draw High by Bloodstone. That is a very R&B, northern sound. And I know he said in his film that that particular song was very special to use. So with this soundtrack, I mean, it's got guys like Johnny Cash on it, which he has used quite a few times. Yeah, Jackie Brown, my favourite song is by Bobby Womack. I love that song. I could play that all the time. Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time by the Delphonics? That is a mega song. This is a mega album. And I can remember my mate Rich bringing it into work. And when you listen to it, it is absolutely ace. So that's really cool. So I'm not doing these in any specific order, but from Jackie Brown, I'm going into Kill Bill 1 and 2. And I'm doing these both together. I mean, for Kill Bill 1 and 2, and for the music that Quentin has used in these films, is just as special as any other film he does. I'm fascinated how he finds the music to put with his films. For him to put in these films like Nancy Sinatra, Johnny Cash, from a guy that's obviously travelled the world and being high up there in the movie business, I find it so fascinating how he finds music. And, hey Quentin, if you're out there, there's one thing I'd really love, and that is to see your record collection, because mine's obviously probably not as good as you, but I'd give you a good go for your money. Kill Bill 1 soundtrack, I mean, it has got some absolute fantastic songs. It's got Nancy Sinatra with Bang Bang, we all know that, and it's a classic song, and she is an incredible singer. That is absolutely brilliant. Track 9 is by a guy called Hoti. I love it when the gang come in, the 88 gang, to that track. I think for Quentin to put that song into that movie and that Pacific stage really is fantastic. It's brilliant to watch because it's going to kick off. Uma Thurman's going to kick ass, and hey, it's really good. The other thing about this is obviously the 5, 6, 7, 8s are on this album, right? Now, I can remember being out, seeing that album, and obviously knowing the song of this film, but I heard about buying it, and it's just like, I'm sure people have got it, and if anyone in Simon's Universe of Music has got the 5, 6, 7, 8 album, right, then let us know if it's any good, because I've never really listened to it. I'm sure I will listen to it, but if you've got it and you like it, then let us know. That would be fantastic. So Quincy Jones is on this, the 5, 6, 7, 8 is on this, track 9 I absolutely love, right, and Kill Bill 1 soundtrack, yeah, I mean, It's good. On to Kill Bill Volume 2. It's got Johnny Cash on it. Johnny Cash, I think, has been on quite a few of Tarantino soundtracks. I know people that absolutely love Johnny Cash, and I do as well. I know bits and pieces, and I want to learn a lot more about him. I think I am going to become a mega fan of Johnny Cash, and I know for a fact when I was doing my Cuda Shaker video, Crispin Mills was talking about how much he loved Johnny Cash. So, Johnny Cash, literally, I'm going to learn all about your music, man, which will be pretty amazing. I like track 2, Good Night Moon by Chevy. I think that's how you pronounce it. With Quentin doing the Kill Bill soundtracks. They're good. I like them. I love the films. So I'm going to come to the Death Proof soundtrack, which is a brilliant soundtrack. It's one that I really like by Quentin. It's really seriously good. I think it's got some great songs on it. It's got some great moments on it. I like Stuntman Mike, and I think, there's parts in the film that are absolutely fantastic. With Stuntman Mike, when he gets his lap dance to Down in Mexico, and she's dancing around him, and Stuntman Mike sat in the chair, loving life, like we all would, he's got the jukebox in it, and that jukebox is actually Quentin's own jukebox, which he apparently is called Amy. So, what a jukebox that is, Amy. Fantastic. So, Quentin says everything is on the 45s, but Down in Mexico is an absolutely fantastic song. It's an absolute banger of a tune. It's a banger in the film, and I think it is absolutely fantastic. Really fantastic. I love the song. I love the, you could put that on. You're definitely going to dance to it. You're going to want your missus to do the lap dance to it. It is absolutely mega. It gives me great memories of with my mate at a time where we listened to Down in Mexico. It was colossal, it was brilliant, and I can remember getting that soundtrack, and it's got songs on it that I just think that are absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love everything about it. That is a great album to have. There's a band on here called Smith, right? An American band. Now, I've tried to look for this band and find out more about them, and I'm sure that there is a history in that to them, but they do Baby It's You, which is an old song. I know the Beatles have done it and that, but I particularly love the Smith version of it. Yeah, Baby It's You, track 2 by Smith. That is absolutely mega. Track 5, you got T-Rex on it, Gypster, which is obviously a great song that I'm sure lots of Simon's Universal Music all knows about, because T-Rex is an absolute god. So T-Rex is on it, and then that's another thing. What I love about his albums is the amount of artists that Quentin likes and the tunes that he likes, and how when he's obviously doing that script to put them songs in and make it absolutely incredible for for us all to see. It is brilliant. I can't rave about it enough. Death Proof soundtrack, absolutely fantastic. The film is not one of my favourite Tarantino films, but the soundtrack is really good. So, Death Proof soundtrack, I love it. I really do. It's got a lot of good fun. So I'm going to come on to something that I really think is superb now. And it's a soundtrack I've been listening to quite a bit for the film. Is absolutely really special for American history, for the actors, for the work that Quentin put together. Django is mega. A lot of my friends out there, and I'm sure family in that, whenever we talk about this film, they rank it really high up. It's really good, and the soundtrack absolutely does it absolute justice. It is a great piece of work. The film is absolutely incredible, but this is not about films, it's about music. I think it's a proper American album. I can hold my hands up and say I've not been to the United States of America, but for being a guy that's 39 years of age that loves the movie business, and especially obviously with the fan I am of music, and trying to understand what is so incredible about Quentin's film and the history. What I love about this soundtrack is the way that he's made it, especially on the subject it is, of how he's put the music onto the different parts of the film to make Django look an absolute god, because that's what he is in the film. And how this story of Django with the different tunes playing at the specific times and how Quentin put it together is absolutely sensational. You can go on about, different bands and playing different albums by different bands and that. I think Quentin, when he puts his soundtrack out, it's just as good as buying an album by your favourite band. And that's what I absolutely love about this subject, and especially about this one today. It's something that I'm really passionate about, Quentin Tarantino films, but not just the film. I love his albums that he puts together. So on this album of Django, I do love track 2, Django. I think it's an absolute brilliant, and the way it goes, Django! That is absolute ace. I used to put it on at work. The sound of track 2, the song Django, is absolutely incredible. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's just like, that's only the beginning. So with Django, hey, that is absolutely mega. That's the sort of song I suppose I could listen to all day. So with the song Django, which I always have to say, Django, have you always been alone, was performed by a guy called Louis Bacalov. I think that's how I pronounce it. But this is what I do like. Rocky Roberts. I can say that. So, with Louis and Rocky Roberts performing Django, believe me, I salute you. You're incredible. That is a good way to start. And one thing for sure that Quentin absolutely loves in his movies is having that start at the beginning and specific tracks in his films that absolutely grab you by your tangerines. So, yeah, absolutely mega. I love it. Absolutely colossal. Django, amazing song. I have to say, on this specific album, there's not really much I would skip on this. It really is pretty colossal. So, the other track I like on this is His Name is King. It was written by Lewis as well. These songs that are on these films are just absolutely fantastic. But track 5, His Name is King, is a brilliant, brilliant tune. I love track 10, I've Got a Name, where you've got Jamie Foxx and Christopher Waltz on their horses riding along, and that song comes on by Jim Corky, which is a great little tune and a great part of the film. And I just love the tracks that just keep plodding along through this movie. So track 10, I've Got a Name, on this album, that's another one that I like. There's a song that I really specifically like, and the song is called Freedom. Now, with Freedom, I think it's a really incredible, powerful song. It's a song that I think is sung so beautiful, that really is special, that for the part of the film with Django seeing his missus caught as a slave, and he loves her and he wants to get her out of there. Well, believe me, he wants to give her freedom. The song Freedom is mega powerful. The other day I was watching TV and that song just came into my head, and it was just like, you know what? That song, in the way the world is today, freedom. What are we fighting for every day in the world? We're fighting for freedom, man. So, I love the song Freedom on this album, and I think it's a really powerful song and a really powerful film. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. I think for Simon's Universe of Music, check out that song Freedom on this album, because when you play it, it's seriously special, and I could talk about that song until the cows come home. It's something that really means something to us. It's pretty cool. For anyone out there, and for anyone out there watching in Simon's Universe of Music, always fight for freedom. Always got to fight for it. On the song Freedom, there's a singer called Eleanor on it. Eleanor Boynton. It's Boynton. How you pronounce that? Hey, guys, there you go. But Eleanor on the song Freedom is absolutely ace. So with Django, Freedom, and that album so far, it's really absolutely something that I love so much. So there's a song on this album by someone that's a pretty big American star, and that's John Legend. Who Did That to You? It's a really good song that goes perfectly with this movie. It has got absolutely everything down to a T, and having that song where Jamie Foxx is about to kick ass is an absolute treat. It absolutely smashes the scene, completely film magic, the way you got that tune with Jamie Foxx about to get his blaster out and start giving it to people. Absolutely mega. So, John Legend, Who Did That to You, is an absolutely incredible song and goes perfect on this album. Absolutely brilliant on this album. It is just fantastic. I just can't get enough of it. I really hope that this film goes down as an absolute classic, because it thoroughly deserves it, especially with everything that it's got to it, the actors, the storyline, and the tunes that go with it. It is absolutely mega. I hope I'm selling it. I hope if anyone's watching in Hollywood thinks that I'm good at selling a movie, hey, Django is a brilliant soundtrack, it's a great film, and hey, it is absolutely top class. So how do I sum up about Quentin Tarantino? Well, for one of the greatest movie directors and screenwriters of all time, his magic that he has put on the big screen with the script, the actors, their attention to detail, with his records that he has put into his movies, my God, what an incredible human being to inspire so many people around the world for the magic that he gives his fans. Quentin Tarantino is one of the most creative people on the planet. He has given us something which is powerful, incredible, something that the universe can enjoy for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone can enjoy something that Quentin Tarantino has put together with his soundtracks, with his movies, with his actors. What do you think about Quentin Tarantino? What do you think about his films? What do you think about his soundtracks? And what enjoyment has he given you? Thank you ever so much for watching. Subscribe, put your notifications on, put your thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Simon's Universe of Music.